Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be completing the third part of the Raja Nand Kumar case. Till now, we have seen that how Warren Hastings got aggrieved by Raja Nand Kumar because of the allegation imposed by him against Hastings. Now Hastings has developed a sense to take revenge towards Nandakumar. Their chance came when they accused Nandakumar, Fox and Radha Charan of conspiring against them. The Supreme Court of Calcutta was approached to prosecute this individual. While Fox was fined for his alleged involvement, the primary target of their accusation was Nandakumar. To further humiliate Nandakumar, Hastings orchestrated his involvement in a forgery case. The charge was linked to a deed allegedly executed by Nandakumar in 1765 concerning an unsettled debt owed to a banker, Bulakidas. The case was brought to trial under the English Act of 1729, which treated forgery as a capital offence. So this trial of Raja Nand Kumar raised two critical issues that question the legitimacy of the proceeding. The first is whether the Supreme Court of Calcutta have jurisdiction over the case, and the second is the applicability of the English Act of 1729 in colonial India. So the first objection raised by Nandakumar defense questioned the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. The alleged forgery has taken place in 1765, well before the establishment of the Supreme Court under the Regulating Act of 1773. So according to Indian laws at the time, such matters should have been tried by the Faujdari Adalat, the then local criminal courts. Now despite these strong arguments, the Supreme Court dismissed the objection, asserting its authority to preside over the case. Now the second major issue was whether the English Act of 1729, which classified forgery as a capital punishment, was applicable in colonial India. Under the provision of this act, anyone found guilty of forgery could face execution. So this question sparked a debate among the judges. Justice Ilja Impe, the Chief Justice of Supreme Court and a close associate of Hastings, argued in favor of the applying the act, and ultimately the court decided to proceed under the provision of the English Act, thereby enabling them to impose death sentence on Nandakumar. During the trial, the evidences against Nandakumar were highly questionable. Witnesses were unreliable and the authenticity of the documents were debatable. Despite this, the court seemed determined to convict him. Even many of the people believed that the trial was a tool to silence Nandakumar and support Warren Hastings. As the trial progressed, several efforts were made to save Raja Nand Kumar from execution. Appeals were made to the King Council. Support was there from the member of the council, and there was intervention by the Nawabs. Nandakumar advocate filed a petition to defer the execution until the King Council could review the matter. This appeal was summarily rejected by the Supreme Court, which declared its decision as final. Some member of the council sympathetic to Nandakumar attempt to intervene on his behalf. However, their efforts were ultimately in vain. Local Nawab sent a letter requesting leniency for Nandakumar. They appealed for a deferral of the sentence, emphasizing the need for justice. The court dismissed this plea, maintaining that their judgment was binding. On the morning of June 16, 1775, Chief Justice Impe delivered a summary of the case. Both the judges and the jury unanimously found Nandakumar guilty of forgery. The court sentenced him to death under the English Act of 1729. The conspiracy charges filed against Nandakumar were dismissed due to lack of evidences. However, the verdict in the forgery case stood firm. On August 5, 1775 at 8 am, Raja Nand Kumar was executed by hanging at a coolie market near Fort William in Calcutta. Now, why is the trial known as the judicial murder of Raja Nand Kumar? So the factors highlighting the bias and injustice that categorize this trial. Firstly, conflict of interest, as Justice Impe was a close friend of Warren Hastings, cast doubt on the fairness of the proceeding. Second, judicial overreach. The judges themselves cross-examined witnesses during the trial, an unusual practice that suggested a lack of impartiality. Then the rejection of the appeal. The Supreme Court refusal to consider the appeal to King Council or the pleas from council member and Nawab demonstrate its rigidity and possible prejudice. Forgery was not considered as capital offense under Hindu or Muslim law, which governed the majority of the Indian population. Despite this, the court imposed a death sentence based on English law that was not universally applicable in colonial India. The case was presided over by 3 English judges, raising concern about colonial prejudice against an Indian subject. The offense of Indian representation in the judiciary further underscored the systematic bias. This factor collectively portray the trial as a calculated act of vigilancy leading to the judicial murder of Raja Nand Kumar. Raja Nand Kumar case is a stark reminder of the dark side of the colonial period. It is a tale that reminds us to question power, demand accountability, and uphold justice. What do you think about the case? Was it a fair trial or a miscarriage of justice? Let me know in the comment below. If you find this video insightful, then give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe the channel to get more insightful legal stories that has shaped our Indian legal system. See you in the next video.